All right, good morning and welcome to Talking Bayside Business. I'm your host, Rebecca Matthews. I am the founder of a local business called the Mind and Body Co. Talking Bayside Business is really about giving local businesses an opportunity to shine and to showcase what they do, but more importantly, giving you the opportunity to get to know the people behind the business. And today I'm really excited to introduce you to Sally from Fit with Sally. Welcome, Sally. Thank you for joining me.
Hi, Rebecca. Really nice to be here.
Fantastic. Now, I know you've already
welcome.
had a full-on busy morning with clients, so I do appreciate you joining me today. Can you start off by sharing with our audience, maybe for those who aren't familiar with Fit with Sally, what your business is and what it is that you do?
Sure. So my business is Fit with Sally, and I'm a body positive fitness professional. And that means I help women feel more confident in their bodies using a compassionate approach to fitness, mental well-being, and body image.
Yeah, that's such a huge thing right now, isn't it? The combination of it's not just about the body anymore. It's really a holistic wellness approach in terms of physical and mental health, which is so powerful.
Yeah, it's really nice to see particularly more fitness business owners and people in the wellbeing space incorporate that mental wellbeing because, hello, we are more than just our physical form, and our mental wellbeing is just as important as our physical health. And then as I do specialize in working with women, unfortunately, most women, we have hang-ups about our bodies, but what I really do is help women feel more confident about their bodies so that they can do more meaningful things that bring them fun, like go to the beach without worrying about how they look, or jumping in the pool with their kids, or taking photos with their children.
Oh, yes. And absolutely. And it really is, when I see bigger women, and this is no breath of a lie, when I see bigger women in bikinis or rocking bathing suits at the beach, I'm so excited for them because I just think, man, that is so cool that you feel confident enough in your own skin to just be you, to be really present with your kids, to have fun and to enjoy life without all of the barriers of, social perception. I think that's so good.
Yeah, I agree. And what I feel is my privilege is to help all women, whether they live in small bodies or large abilities, and women with different physical and mental abilities as well, feel confident enough in their bodies so that they can do things like that, so that they can go to the beach and not have to spend that mental and emotional energy on worrying about, or am my shorts too short, or am I too old to wear shorts, or is my tummy too, rolly to wear a bikini? Wouldn't it be great if we could just let go of that and making those memories and enjoying those meaningful moments that make our lives more enriching?
It really is. I'll share a little story. We went down to Talabudgera for the long weekend, and we're at the holiday park there, and there was a moment where I actually turned to my husband and I said, oh my God, look, we're surrounded by real people. And I was so excited because there were people of all shapes and sizes, and everybody was just totally focused on having a good time with the people they were with. And I felt really, really honored to be in that space with people who were just keeping it real. And it was just beautiful. It was funny because we'd come through Burleigh Heads and I was going, oh, here's all the pretty people, all the size, the little bodies, which, they have ebbs. I'm not, skinny shaming, like people who have that on them. But for people also with bigger bodies, but to be able to put all of that stuff aside and really just enjoy being present with their kids and with their families. I just love that so much.
Yeah, it sounds like that was a meaningful moment for you.
It really was. It absolutely was. And I just want to circle back on something you said in your opening statement, which was your compassionate approach. I think that is so key. And I just really want to call that out because I think that there is, when it comes to personal trainers, there's a real hoorah kind of perception around, they want to break you and they want to mold you and they want to keep pushing you until you're in tears or you're vomiting. And I get the very confident sense from you that that is not your approach. That is not what you're about.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Unfortunately, with shows like The Biggest Loser, a lot of the public perception of personal trainers, rightly or wrongly, is, we like to yell a lot and scream at clients and, make them work out till they puke. And unfortunately, that is the reality for a lot of trainers. A lot of trainers do see it as, their job to make their clients work out so hard that they throw up. And I couldn't think of a more unpleasant training experience, or more, who wants to throw up when they're working out, or ever. That's not a nice thing, and it certainly shouldn't be a benchmark of a good personal trainer. I think by approaching someone's health and well-being journey through a lens of compassion, it opens up an understanding and a connection between myself and my clients, and we start to build a relationship. And I do have quite a few clients who have unfortunately had really poor experiences with trainers in the past. They've been shamed by their trainers, fat shamed and fit shamed, been yelled at. They've been told that, that's just an excuse. I don't care that you've got 4 kids and you're a single mum. You shouldn't be eating rice. You should be eating kale and other bullshit like that. I think that's a really poor example of the fitness industry, and it's certainly not all trainers, absolutely not. But offering a compassionate approach to fitness and well-being and body image, for me, it truly allows my clients to feel comfortable in my presence and allows them to open up. And when my clients open up, that's when we start to progress towards what's important to them. And a key component here is it makes the whole experience enjoyable.
Well, and
I think if you are going to spend time in the gym.
Yeah. And it's also about, building a relationship with you. You don't want your clients to fear you or dread your sessions. You want people to be excited about spending time with you and connecting with you and building a really genuine, authentic relationship where they know that you actually give a shit about them and their journey and their progress.
Absolutely, I do give a shit. And one of the reasons I'm able to form quite a good friendship and a deep relationship with my clients is I only have a limited amount of clients that allows me the time and the mental space to pull back those layers and find out what's going on for them. Where are they at in their lives? What do they need more of? What do they need less of? Do they need to start saying yes to themselves more? And most of my clients are mums, and so that is a yes for most of my clients.
Mm-hmm.
And then that does allow that really good friendship to blossom. And you're absolutely right, Rebecca. I want my clients, and I can say confidently that my clients do come to my sessions and they look forward to our training time together.
Yeah.
And that's because I make it about them. I will always ask my clients, how's your energy today? And is there anything in particular you say? Some of them might say, can we just go for a walk? Yep, let's go for a walk. Some of them say, you want to do a whole bunch of push-ups or something. And some of them might say, can we sit and have a chat? And by making it about the client, it's the personal training.
Yeah, I love that so much. So tell me a little bit about, what it was that inspired you and motivated you to go into business for yourself.
So I have been a sole trader for about 15 years, but it was about 5 years ago I decided, hey, I've got a message to share with the world. And that was when Fit With began. And that message is that women of all shapes and abilities and sizes, and in particular women who live in larger bodies, should be included and should feel genuinely welcomed by the fitness and wellbeing space. And I see it as my job to help build confidence in women so that they can feel good about their bodies rather than just telling them, you need to lose weight, you need to shrink down. And I think what was the real driver there was, after being a personal trainer for 9 or 10 years, there is a trend in the fitness space that if a woman doesn't like her body, She needs to change her body, and that's how she's going to feel better. Let's help her lose weight, shrink down, tone up, get rid of that cellulite, make that belly flatter, make those thighs more toned. And for a long time, I believed that that was the way as well. And so I helped hundreds of women to change their bodies and to feel stronger. And there was other benefits as well. But the main reason women came to see me was to lose weight, because they thought that would make them feel better about their bodies. But after training hundreds of women, and not to mention the women, you know, in my lives who are my friends, my sisters, my mum, these women were working so hard to change their body. And do you think they were happy with their bodies at the end of the day? Mm-mm.
Well,
Nope.
ultimately, you know, like, you know, from the work that I do, I know that pretty much everything we do in our life, whether it's our relationships, it's a career, it's our health, it's, you know, any of those elements, you know, so much of it is an inside job. And, you know, it really comes down to your mindset and your attitude and how you approach it and your perspectives and your, you know, your beliefs and all of that stuff. And so that's what I love about what you're doing, is that you're really incorporating both of those aspects. You know, you're looking at the person as a whole person, not as a broken person, not as a part of a person, but you're really looking at the entire person and how you can help them create a more meaningful, healthy experience in their life. And I love that so much.
Yeah, that's right. And what was really the change for me was when I thought, what if we're going about this all wrong? What if, in order to feel more confident in our bodies, we start to change our mindset, as you said, and we start to work on our perception of our bodies rather than just focus on a physical change?
Yeah.
And that was how Fit with Sally began.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you for sharing that, because I always find it so fascinating to hear, you know, there's usually a journey or an awakening or a moment of clarity where people go, there's got to be a better way. And that inspires them to go into business and to take the risk of doing something new and a little bit different.
Yeah.
So do you think that it's really, you know, there are lots of personal trainers out there. Do you really think it's that personalized, compassionate, whole approach that sets you apart from others and makes you unique?
I do think so. Compassion is one of my core values, and inclusion as well. A lot of women, as I mentioned before, who have had trainers in the past and they don't understand, or maybe they don't do the work to understand that, you know, their clients are much more than just they exercise or, you know, what they eat. Shock horror, you know, these women have whole lives outside of the gym. And by approaching my clients through a compassionate lens and a lens of inclusion, it really helps make my clients feel more comfortable, and it really helps set me apart from other personal trainers. I've had quite a few clients tell me before that they've never had an experience with another personal trainer like they have with me.
Yeah,
I think that by offering a size inclusive approach as well, so that means that I make it I make a strong point of making women in larger bodies feel more comfortable with me. And one of the ways I do that is through language. So I make it clear that I will never talk about exercising to burn off your pasta or earning your food, or, you know, don't have that wine night, even though you need to, you know, you need to have a bit of a relax. I never talk about movement through a weight loss lens. I talk about ways that help you reduce your back pain, that help you, you know, have the strength to play on the monkey bars with your kids, that help you take care of your mental health better, that help you, you know, feel stronger in and out of the gym.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what really sets me apart from most of the other personal trainers in the industry, is offering compassion and making women in larger bodies feel genuinely welcomed and included.
And one of the other elements that, you know, we haven't even touched on yet is, you know, working with women. You've got the constantly evolving hormonal state, which plays a huge role in our physical health and wellness and strength and energy and our ability to to move weight, or even control it in any way, which sometimes we can't control it in any way because it's doing things all the time. So there's a whole nother element that's also at play that is, and it's about, again, I think that compassionate approach to, that there are some things that we just got to work with. We've got to be flexible. We've got to go with it. And I, just another thing that I think, another element that I think makes, Fit with Sally really powerful for women who are experiencing any of these things.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a few clients who suffer from endometriosis and polycystic ovarian syndrome, and that can be so impactful on your life. And they messaged me on Wednesday morning and said, I have really bad endo pain. Can we just stretch today? I said, absolutely, of course. But if I was approaching things through, you need to lose weight, we need to burn calories, another trainer might have said, no, we're going to go for a run anyway, or no, we're going to do a hard session. But by offering that compassion, that client has still moved her body. We've had a good chat. We've had a good laugh. Has it taken her pain away? No. But it's allowed her to figure out ways that she can move her body that feels good for her.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things I wanted to talk to you, and I think we've pretty much touched on this now, is that the misconceptions in the PT industry. And I think that, you've mentioned a few things now that I think are pretty clear around, that there isn't a one size fits all PT approach. And there are always going to be the hoorah PTs, but there are also people like yourself, and other PTs who take a more nurturing, compassionate approach, or more of a whole approach. So it's would that be a correct assumption that that's probably the biggest misconception in the industry?
Oh, absolutely. You've hit the nail on the head. Yeah. I think if that's one of the reasons I decided to stop calling myself a personal trainer, and I started to call myself a body positive fitness professional, because of that misconception. Anyone who is a personal trainer is very shouty. They have a six pack. They probably never eat Cheezels. And I'm not very shouty. I don't have a six pack, and I love Cheezels. So I decided that by changing what I'm professionally known as. I think it's going to help people in their curiosity. And as soon as people hop on my website or my Facebook page, or, I might do a live video, I try really hard to make it known that, hey, I'm different to the rest.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. I think that's so important. So what do you think? So you're a Bayside business, and, I've spoken to lots of people. I've mentioned that I was interviewing you today, and I had lots of people go, oh, Sally's awesome. You're going to love talking to Sally. What are the biggest challenges, but on the flip side of that, also the most rewarding parts of being a Bayside business?
I can't really, to be honest, I can't really think of any challenges to being a Bayside business. I can think of some challenges of being a business owner.
Yes, there's a few of those.
As you would certainly know about. I think for me, it might have been, in the beginning, it might have been a mindset. My husband and I moved here about 2.5 years ago, and I thought, I've probably got to open up the business in the city. That's where the money is. And, while I'm not about chasing the money, any business needs to turn a profit in order to be able to help and serve their clients. But that was a mindset block, and I got through that. And I grew up in Wynnum, so it's actually really nice to then, 15 years later, circle back and now start to grow my business here. So I think, that was probably the only challenge, but I've overcome that. I think one of the most rewarding parts of being a Bayside business owner is the location. I mean, I run stretch, meditate and coffee classes once a month down at Green Park down by the water. And how special is that? For free, as a business owner, I can hire out a beautiful place that's, we're overlooking the ocean, and there's a coffee shop right there. I think that's really special, and that's really wonderful as a business owner. And I have, as I mentioned, I have traveled quite a lot, and I have worked in the fitness industry in several countries around the world. And I tell you, you can't get that everywhere. As Bayside business owners, to be able if it works for your business, to be able to live right near the water. And I love being able to offer the outdoors as another element to my business, to helping clients, feel good in their head and just to get outside and be near the ocean and the fresh air.
Absolutely. And, it really was all of those elements that really drew us to this location as well, because I think that there is a real, I think that we're very lucky in Australia. We have a fairly moderate climate regardless of where you are. And, we have a very outdoorsy lifestyle, but I think the closer you are to the ocean, the more of an outdoorsy kind of health and wellness lifestyle you have. And I love that I can go walking along the waterfront at 5 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock at night, and there are always people out walking the dog, having a chat, sitting. I saw a beautiful man the other morning just sitting reading his paper at 5 a.m. down on the waterfront, people wanting to be out and about. He had a thermos of coffee reading his paper. And, I love that people are wanting to be outside. They're wanting to be breathing in the fresh air. They're wanting to appreciate their surroundings. And I think that it really helps. It's that added element of that mindset. And just appreciating what we have available to us, I think, is so rich around here. What are your hopes and dreams for your business in the next year?
My next big goal, something my husband and I are both working really hard towards, is to have my own physical location. As we've talked about, I do take such a different and unique approach to the fitness industry, and it, in order to match the energy, I think, and the space that I provide figuratively for my clients, I've got to have my own physical location. So I'm within the next 2 years, I'll be opening up Brisbane's first body positive gym. And that is going to be a place where women of all shapes and abilities and sizes genuinely feel welcomed and warm, and they feel like they belong. As far as I know, we don't have a gym like that in Brisbane at the moment. So I'm going to be the first body positive gym in Brisbane.
I love that so much. I'm doing like a little happy dance. I think that's amazing. I can't wait to be there and support you when you make that happen. That sounds incredible. Now, you mentioned you were from Wynnum. And so, I'd love to know a little bit about what you've noticed in the last maybe 12, 24 months of how this Bayside area has changed, and also what you'd love to see happen in the next, 12 to 24 months.
Well, as I mentioned, I grew up in Wynnum. I spent my childhood, down at Wynnum waterfront, and then I left for about 10 years, and Dominic and I came back about 2 years ago. So I've noticed a lot of changes. I definitely think there is a more fresh, perhaps contemporary feel to Wynnum. I'm really enjoying the coffee shops down there. Although, the coffee shops might have still been there when I was 18, but I probably didn't notice them so much. It was probably more heading towards, the bottle shops. But yeah, I think I really, the bars that are opening up down in Wynnum, I've certainly spent a few casual nights at Cedar and Pine. I held the Fit with Sally cheese and wine party there last year. Molly does a great job down there. And I haven't tried it yet, but I was really excited to hear about the Fat Duck opening up down at Wynnum. And what a wonderful surprise. So maybe Dominic and I will go there tomorrow night.
Date night. That sounds awesome. And so what would you love to see happen in the next couple of years?
My body positive gym.
Oh, given.
No, but in all seriousness, we love living in the Bayside, and we will be looking in the Bayside when the time, when the time is right to build my space here. I mentioned, being so close to the ocean, and I like the Wynnum Bayside community. I grew up here. Now I'm here expanding my business here. So genuinely,
I love that.
Next 2 years, you'll see, Wynnum will have Brisbane's first, maybe Australia's first body positive gym. There is a few gyms in Wynnum at the moment, but this is going to be something really different. But I'm also looking forward to the cinema finally, you know, opening up and heading down there. Now we don't have to head out to the city or head out to Villanova. I think that's really wonderful that the cinema's heading up.
That's awesome. Oh, that's so good. I think there's so many, you know, we moved here a year ago, and I have seen so many things start to kind of bubble in the last year. And I know that there was a lot of things and a lot of events that were put on hold last year, but there's been a lot of really exciting developments I've noticed that have started to kind of grow some legs, I guess. And I'm really excited to see some of them, you know, start to come to fruition in the next 12 months. I think that's really exciting. Now, to finish off our interview today, because I am conscious for time, I would love for you've given a shout out to Cedar and Pine, which I love, Marley. What would be your favourite go-to place in the Bayside area? Do you have a favourite picnic spot, a favourite cafe or bar? Where's your go-to?
For coffee and for a workspace, I love Dramanti. I love their coffee there. I'll often go down there and, you know, set my laptop up and do a little bit of client work. But Dominic, my husband, and I, we also love to get a banh mi from one of the bakeries down in Wynnum and just go sit anywhere along the waterfront, set up our picnic blanket. Maybe if it's, you know, past midday, maybe have a little wine as well. It's such a wholesome, lovely place to spend when the tide is in, and, you know, there might be some pelicans and we're having a delicious, inexpensive banh mi, and we can just spend time with each other down there in such a lovely location.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you so much for your time. I truly appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you know, the body positive gym take form. And I really hope that the community, you know, have learned something about you today, and, you know, will spread the word, because I think finding someone that's the right fit for you and where you're at in your health journey and someone who can really nurture and support that is, I think, half the battle. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time.
You're so welcome, Rebecca. It was really enjoyable. Thanks so much.
All right. Talk soon. Bye for now.
Bye.